Está começando mais uma jornada esportiva aqui na Times Brasil. A narração é de sucesso, os comentários é de quem entende, hein? Então vem com a gente, não vai perder essa jornada esportiva. Times Brasil, paixão pelo futebol.
Muito boa noite, amigos e amigas da Times Brasil. Estamos chegando. Estamos chegando. Boa noite, galera. Sejam todos muito bem-vindos. Hoje é noite de futebol canadense. Beleza? Belo jogo aí. É a Canadian Championship, campeonato do Canadá de eliminatório, né? Campeonato de mata-mata. Montréal e Forge a partir de agora aqui na Times Brasil. Sejam todos muito bem-vindos. Canadian Championship. O Montreal joga a MLS, né? Joga futebol juntamente com os clubes dos Estados Unidos, né? O Montreal, ó, time de azul ali, ó, ele joga na Liga dos Estados Unidos, a MLS. Já o Forge, tá aqui o Forge é o maior campeão aí da Canadian Premier League, que é o campeonato nacional de pontos corridos do Canadá. Canadian Premier League é uma coisa, a Canadian Championship é outra coisa, né? Campeonato canadense, só que na verdade é uma copa, né? Uma competição disputada em jogos eliminatórios, tá bom? Aqui no Brasil nós falamos mata-mata, né? Jogos de playoffs, né? Chamamos de mata-mata, beleza? Mas é isso aí, é a mesma coisa, beleza? A bola vai rolar daqui 4 minutinhos. A bola vai rolar em belo jogo lá em Montreal, lá em Quebec, né? Montreal fica em Quebec, no estádio do Montreal, né? Montreal, uma equipe já bem conhecida, né? Bem conhecida aí, já jogando um bom tempo na MLS. Montreal tem 30 anos, né? 30 anos. O Forge tem apenas 6 anos, né? O jogo é no Saputo Station, lá em Quebec, tá bom? Um estádio grande, né, para os padrões canadenses, né? Cabem aí cerca de 20 mil espectadores, a capacidade aí do Saputo Station, lá em Quebec, né? A casa aí do Montreal. Beleza? Sejam todos muito bem-vindos. Podem ficar à vontade, hein? Daqui 3 minutinhos a bola rola. Daqui 3 minutinhos a bola rola. E quando essa bola rolar, sai de baixo. Que a expectativa é sempre para jogos bons, né? Aqui na Times Brasil só escolhemos jogos top, né? Em uma noite de Copa Sul-Americana, de Libertadores, sim. Nós vamos de Campeonato Canadense. Por quê, Lucas? Uma boa pergunta. Nós vamos sempre na contramão, né? Em noite de Copa Libertadores da América e noite de Sul-Americano, nós vamos aqui no futebol canadense, poxa, semifinal, Montreal e Forge, lá em Quebec, jogo único, tá? Perdeu, tá fora, beleza? Deixa eu me ajeitar aqui, então vamos aqui nos organizando, que a bola vai rolar daqui 3 minutinhos, para Montreal e Forge. E por favor, podem participar no chat, mande seu recadinho, beleza? Sabemos que lá no Canadá, né, eles falam inglês e falam francês, né? Então é daquele jeito, né? Daquele jeito. Mas é bem emocionante, né? Bem emocionante, né? Para fazer jogos assim. Porque, né, temos aqui algumas dificuldades linguísticas, né? Mas vamos quebrando as barreiras aí da língua, né? O idioma, cada país tem seu idioma, né? O inglês é bem mais popular do que o francês, né? O pessoal lá no Canadá fala esses dois idiomas, mas aqui vamos com o nosso português. Bora tentar fazer esse belo jogo. Nesse momento tá rolando aí Libertadores, né? O Palmeiras está em campo, na Sul-Americana o Fortaleza está em campo, mas nós estamos aqui com o Campeonato Canadense. Sim, por quê, Lucas? Porque sim, nós vamos na contramão, nós tentamos aí fazer algo diferente aqui na Times Brasil, beleza? Peço a compreensão, peço o apoio de vocês, isso aqui pode me ajudar. Deixa o like, tá? Deixa o like, subscreva, né? Aí, se inscreva no canal da Times Brasil, beleza? Deixa eu ver aqui. Pelo jeito, sabemos que no Canadá, né, e também nos Estados Unidos, às vezes, né, às vezes acontece ali do jogo atrasar um pouquinho, né? Vamos esperar pra ver, né? Tá bom? Mas ainda falta um minutinho pra bola rolar. Aqui tá tudo pronto, né? Tem que ver se lá tá tudo pronto, né? Deixa eu ver aqui, dar um F5 pra atualizar aqui nosso sinal lá de Montréal, em Quebec, para esse belo jogo de semifinal, tá? Apesar de ser Canadian Championship, né? É campeonato canadense, só que esse campeonato Canadá é mata-mata, é eliminatório. Não é a Canadian Premier League, que é o campeonato de pontos corridos. Não, isso aqui é o campeonato de eliminatório, mata-mata, beleza? Tá certo? Fechou? O Montreal atua na MLS, mas o Forge, ele atua no futebol local, né? Joga na Canadian Premier League. Mas aqui, hoje, é Canadian Championship, campeonato já é o campeonato mais tradicional, né, do Canadá, tá certo? Deixa eu ver aqui, vamos passar aqui então nas escalações, mas para isso vou aqui pedir para o nosso amigo Adriano Machado vir aqui com as escalações, né? Vamos lá, Adriano, Adriano, bora então com as escalações, começar aqui pro time mandante, o time da casa. Vamos lá, agora a escalação do Montreal, bora lá.
Vamos para a escalação do time do Montreal. 40 é Sirois, 15 Braut Gilliard, 5 Corbo, 4 Camacho, 16 Waterman, 11 Lassiter, 2 Wanyama, 29 Chonier, 10 Duque, 8 Miljevic e 14 Ibrahim. O time que vem a campo que vai jogar vem com Tristan Henry, Ashton Morgan, James, número 5, 7, Chonier, 10, Kyle Becker, 13, Alexander Archinot Johnson, 17, Rubens Pácios, 19, Tristan Borges, 21, Alessandro Ojarpur, 24, Rizar Rama e 33, Abubakar Sissoko.
Maravilha, obrigado, Adriano, mandou para nas escalações aí, show de bola, maravilha, maravilha. Agora só resta saber, né, se a bola vai rolar ou não, né? Estamos aqui aguardando, eu acho que vai rolar sim, mas pelo jeito aqui já estamos com um pequeno atraso aí, né? Com um pequeno atraso, sabemos aí que normalmente eles marcam tipo, por exemplo, hoje marcou para as 20 horas, né? Só que aqui normalmente, né, eles marcam assim, mas não começa, né? Marca 20, né? Marca 8 da noite, aí começa 8h05, 8h10, né? Acontece bastante. Hoje é semifinal, né? Temos aqui 2 jogos, né? Tem o Pacific versus o Vancouver Whitecappers e também tem o Montreal versus o Forge. Quem vencer vai se enfrentar na final. Tá prevista aí pro dia 8 do mês que vem, dia 8 do mês que vem, a final. E vai ser em Colômbia, tá? Vai ser em Colômbia, afinal, todos os jogos são ali em jogo único, não tem volta, né? Tivemos aí a primeira fase da competição, a rodada preliminar. O Pacific, nos pênaltis, eliminou o Calgary, né? Uma surpresa aí, né? O Forbes venceu ali o Valour 3-1, avançou. O York United passou pelo Vancouver FC 1-0. Do outro lado da chave, o Montreal venceu o Varguan Azuri 2-0, também avançou. O Forge goleou, né? O Laval, FC Laval 3-0, passou o time do Forge. E o HFX Wanderers perdeu em casa, né? Ali para o Atlético Ottawa, deu o Atlético Ottawa 3-1. Já nas quartas de finais, o Pacific, o time do Pacific, deixa eu só ver aqui, pessoal, calma aí, o Pacific venceu o Forbes 2-0, avançou o Pacific. O Vancouver Whitecappers eliminou o York United nas quartas, 4-1. Vancouver Whitecappers 4, York United 1. E o Toronto perdeu, né? Fizemos, eu acho, né? Toronto 1, Montreal 2. Eu acho que nós fizemos esse jogo, hein? Toronto 1, Montreal 2, aí nas quartas de finais. O Forge nos pênaltis eliminou o Atlético Ottawa ali nos pênaltis nas quartas de finais. Aí depois chegamos agora nas semifinais, Pacific e Vancouver Whitecappers, Montreal e Forge, né? A final dia 8. Entre dia 6 e dia 8 do mês de junho, beleza? É uma competição bem rápida, né? São poucas equipes, né? É bem dinâmica, né? Bem bacana, beleza? Deixa eu só ver aqui. Realmente, né? São apenas 14 equipes, né? Tem as 3 equipes da MLS e 11 aqui que jogam futebol local, né? Deixa eu dar um F5 aqui, rapaziada, porque, né? Eu não gosto quando tem esses atrasos, hein? Não gosto quando tem esses atrasos. Deixa eu ver aqui, atualizar os placares de momento, ó. Fortaleza 2, São Lourenço 1 na Sul-Americana. E na Libertadores, deixa eu ver aqui, Cerro Porteño 0, Palmeiras 1, Liverpool de Montevidéu e Independiente Del Valle 0-0. E cadê o nosso jogo? Por enquanto tá atrasado, hein? Por enquanto o nosso jogo do Forge aqui, né, frente ao Montréal, um pequeno atraso, né? Pelo andar da carruagem, né? Vamos buscar a informação aqui. Tem que esperar. Não adianta. Futebol canadense ainda, né? Essa questão também dos Estados Unidos também envolve bastante esses atrasos, né? Eles não cumprem com o horário, poxa. É impressionante. Marca no horário e não começa, né? Sempre a mesma coisa. Marca para 8 horas, começa às 8h10, 8h15. Aí fica meio complicado para nós, né? É meio complicado, né? Aí você me quebra, hein? Deixa eu atualizar de novo aqui, né? Porque assim, né? Você fica na expectativa pro jogo, pô. Pessoal que vem aqui acompanhar a nossa live, estamos aguardando aqui a resposta do jogo, né? Ainda nada de nada. Tá rolando aí Campeonato Brasileiro Série B, em andamento aí 4 jogos, Juventude 2, Atlético Goianiense 0, Londrina 0, Ceará 3, Vila Nova 1, Ituano 0, Vitória e CRB 0-0. Também tá rolando o Campeonato Amapaense, Trem 1, Santos de Macapá 0. No Pará, Paysandu e Camaté 0-0. Também tá rolando aqui um jogo lá da Série B de Minas Gerais, Varginha 0, Betim 1. Também tá rolando o Campeonato Paulista Feminino, né? Clássico aí, São Paulo 1, Santos 0. Na Colômbia, Série B da Colômbia rolando aí, Laneiros 2, Fortaleza 0. E ainda o nosso jogo aqui mais importante, o jogo mais importante da noite, que vale a vaga na final da competição aqui do Canadá. Ainda nada, né? Agora sim, agora começou, hein? Agora, até que enfim, começou. Bola rolando na Canadian Championship. Demorou, mas começou. Até que enfim. Vem comigo, torcedor. Bora pro jogo. Bola rolando na Times Brasil. 0-0. 0-0. Montreal. E fora, já que não é Times Brasil. Bora pra emoção. Bora pra emoção do futebol canadense na Times Brasil. No canal apaixonado por futebol. Vem comigo, torcedor. Deixa o likezão, fortalece. Me ajuda aí, pô. Me ajuda, pá, mano. Noite de quarta-feira, mano. Quarta-feira, Sul-Americana, Libertadores. E nós aqui indo sempre na contramão, né? Na contramão, vamos na Canadian Championship, campeonato de mata-mata aí, de playoffs do futebol canadense. 0-0 apenas começou a bola rolando na Times Brasil, canal apaixonado por futebol. Vem comigo, torcedor, vem comigo. Fica à vontade, sinta-se em casa. 0-0, bola rolando na Times Brasil. Não poderia ser em outro lugar, né? Aqui é o canal do futebol alternativo, jogos, né? Sempre jogos. Procuramos aí jogos diferenciados, né, para trazer para vocês aqui, pessoal. Sempre tentando aí ao máximo trazer jogos diferenciados para vocês, beleza? Fica comigo, deixa o like, me ajuda aí. Tô aqui tentando pegar o nosso campinho virtual, pegar a informação, né? Porque realmente o jogo tá rolando, só que ainda tô aqui sem um campinho virtual, né? Fica até que meio complicado, né? Deixa eu só arrumar aqui, enquanto isso, né? Pra colocar aqui a informação na tela pra vocês, né? 0 a 0. Ainda os primeiros movimentos na Times Brasil. Jogo importante, vale vaga na final. É sempre importante, né? Você ir pra final buscar o título, né? E assim, muitos apontam aí o Montreal como favorito, né? Tendo em vista que é a equipe mais conhecida, né? O Montreal tem 30 anos de história, né? Uma equipe que joga a MLS, né? O pessoal vai lá e aposta mais, né, que o Montreal é favorito. Só que o Forge também, ele se destaca bem na liga local, né? Aí na Canadian Premier League, né? Vamos ver se hoje quem vai sair ali melhor na frente. Aqui na semifinal, jogo único, perdeu, tá fora, beleza? Jogo em Quebec. 0 a 0 na Times Brasil. Vem comigo, torcedor. Fica à vontade, a Championship do Canadá. Bola rolando na Times Brasil. Torcedor, todo mundo ligadinho. Conectado na Times Brasil. Canal apaixonado por futebol. Quase 4 jogados. É 0 a 0 na Times Brasil. Tá só começando a Canadian Championship. O campeonato aí de pontos. O campeonato de mata-mata do Canadá, né? Perdeu, tá fora. Tchau, tchau. Sem chororô. 0 a 0. Eu quero só ver se o nosso campinho virtual, né, começou a trabalhar para ficar melhor para nós aqui, né? Colocar o campinho virtual para todo mundo acompanhar a movimentação de ambas as equipes, né? 0 a 0. Eu quero é gol, hein? Quanto mais gol, melhor. Vem comigo, torcedor. Vem comigo, os apaixonados pelo futebol. É futebol canadense, em noite de Sul-Americana e Libertadores. Sim, nós estamos aqui fazendo futebol canadense. Por quê, Lucas? É uma ótima pergunta. Porque nós somos teimosos, né? Nós somos teimosos. Isso. Nós vamos, né, e sempre fazendo jogos diferenciados. Beleza? 0 a 0. Eu curto aí o futebol canadense. Eu acho que o futebol que é bem organizado, tudo certinho, sem erro ali, sabe? Jogos bem bacana. O povo eles ainda vão evoluir bastante, né? Eu acho que tem tudo pra crescer. Ainda mais que vai ter a Copa do Mundo agora, né? Rapaz. 2026, hein? Tá chegando, a Copa do Mundo. Canadá, México e Estados Unidos, na próxima Copa do Mundo de 26. Deixa eu ver aqui. Eu consigo colocar o campinho aqui para acompanhar a movimentação de ambos os times, né? Vai ficar bem melhor. Com o campinho virtual fica bem melhor. 0 a 0 na Times Brasil. 5 minutos e meio de bola rolando. Montreal que joga a MLS. E o Ford que joga na liga local, né? Joga na Canadian Championship, na Canadian Premier League, mas hoje só um vai avançar. Jogo único, eliminatório. Perdeu. Tchau, tchau. Perdeu. Tá fora. Eu tô aqui trabalhando, pessoal, para colocar o campinho virtual, beleza? Só me dá um minutinho aqui. Vou colocar para nós aí o campinho virtual. Pra ficar bom, pra não ter erro, beleza? Infelizmente, né? O meu campinho que eu utilizo sempre, hoje, me deixou na mão. Zero a 0, tá só começando.
Le dimanche 4 juin prochain, ce salon se déroulera au
Corbo. Now Miljevic with the switch. Nice touch from Broguillard. Tries to find a way through both Morgan and Borges. It's nicely defended by Forge. Jimmy, I think one of the challenges today, at least in terms of how they approach the game, Forge, is they're a team that loves the ball. They're not a team that will be content usually to sit back and let you come to them. They want to dominate, they want to dictate. They obviously know that's not going to be the case today. So how do you adjust that when you're so used to playing one way?
Well, I think
maybe hold that thought. Yeah. They can't get out of their defensive third of the minute. Miljevic, the return pass to Chouanière off the mark. Okay, no, now here we go.
Listen, they're professional. They'll understand. They're playing against a good team in Montreal who do like possession themselves. And you know, there's times throughout that match that you've got to give up that possession, and you've got to adjust accordingly and make sure that you do set up your traps. Make sure you do press when the time is right to win that ball back as quick as you can. But what you don't want to do is when you don't have possession, all of a sudden now certain players are getting pulled out of different positions. You're not all going to collectively to win that ball back, and then you expose yourself. So they'll understand when they are in possession, keep the ball, and then when we don't have it, make sure we're disciplined enough to understand we'll get it back at some point.
Broguillard as it bounces once in front of Rama. Lunging for the ball was Ashton Morgan. Cycled around the perimeter.
You can see what Montreal's doing here as well, with Duke coming inside, Miljevic coming inside as well. They're creating a box in the middle of the park and asking Montreal's two wide players to stay up nice and high, so they're trying to overload the middle a little bit. And they're interchanging at times as well.
Wanyama tries to bully his way through David Chouanière. Pass comes off just in time. Chouanière, heavy touch, inviting Corbo in. Watch out, Bobby. Henry away from Ibrahim. He will, of course, be all too familiar with the three different ways that he was beat by Sanusi, who's only started 2 matches in MLS play this season. 10 appearances, though, for Hernan Losada. Close to a full-strength team for CF Montreal. Obviously notable names out of the lineup. Captain Sammy Piette still working back from that adductor injury. Mason Toy, who had his surgery back in April, but from the recent matches, no Kyoto, no Lapalainen. It's Miljevic. This joint defending Jabarpour Chouanière.
See the pocket opening up behind Becker because Becker doesn't know whether to step to Wanyama or stay in that little pocket with Miljevic.
Ibrahim. Simplest of passes for Broguillard. Lassiter to Corbo. Wanyama. Back out wide for Miljevic. Chouanière with his eyes forward. That's a nice run from Duke in and around Becker. Broguillard in towards Ibrahim. Mandrakar James challenge for the ball in the air. Believe it's last off of his head. I certainly thought he had a piece, but no doubt Ibrahim will be a tightly marked man.
Great delivery into the box. Just wish Montreal had a few more numbers in there.
A lot Lots of whip on that clearance from Ashniotti Janssen. It's Chouanière taking it right back.
You gotta give credit to Montreal. Their movement's been very, very good.
Mr. Smirniotis still asking for Mathieu Souare's ear. We're near the middle of this opening period of play. Corbo. Waterman. Broguiard and Ibrahim in the box. Chouanière now from the center. Side to side they go, waiting for their opening. Lassiter for Miljevic. Chouanière from Duke tried to go back, but it's taken away by the Forge captain. The full counter wasn't on. And then Sissoko brought to ground by Victor Wanyama. Sissoko, who had been born in Bamako, Mali, but grew up here in Montreal. Moved over when he was 11 years old. I mean, there's always connections whenever there's a CPL and MLS side, but especially these clubs on the more eastern side of the country. Your Halifax Wanderers, your Forge, that have had stops in with either the Impact or now CF Montreal Academy. We'll see the same thing again tonight, Pacific and Vancouver Whitecaps. Pacias, another one of those players, leaves it for Sissoko. Now Borges. He knew Ashton Morgan was going to be making that run down the left touchline. Couldn't find his clearance. Jonathan Sirwa of LaSalle, who has been the man for CF Montreal this season. Becker tries to slide and intercept. Onyama, defended by two Forge players. Referee took a moment to ensure that he had spotted a foul in there. Borges offers a helping hand.
What do you think, foul?
I don't know that Tristan Borges is going pound for pound with Victor Wanyama, I'll put it that way.
He's not, that's for sure.
There's Wanyama again.
Wanyama's so good in there. Just so organized. You can see he's always talking on the pitch. Orchestrating everybody. And he can just keep a rhythm in the game. Just finds those little spaces just so he can play quick football. 1-2 touch.
Broguiard. That's a great looking cross for Ibrahim, able to connect this time. And almost puts it up to former Canadian international Amy Walsh, who is on duty with La Cloche tonight.
She'll be dying to ring that bell tonight.
She's desperate to ring that bell tonight. There is no doubt about it.
Broguiard, he's put some very good balls into that box.
There is Ms. Walsh. Nice to see a good turnout for a midweek night at the Canadian Championship. .5 minutes officially in the books. 60% of the ball from CF Montreal. Trying to slip it in for Miljevic. Not the best offering from Ariel Lassiter. Reza Rama, you can say the same about him. Goes over the head of Wubens Pacias. Forge very well defensively organized, for the most part keeping Montreal out wide and winning a lot of those balls the center backs have been, that have made their way through. Still no shots in the match. 4 touches in the penalty area from CF Montreal. 2 shots, excuse me, not on target, what I mean to say. Now Morgan takes a bump from Broguillard. Nicely laid back by Duke. Waterman adjusts. Chouanière. Becker tries to close down. The step from Ashniote Janssen. And he hustles forward to make sure he is the next person on the ball as well. Another switch attempted from Corbeau. This time it's behind Broguillard. Camacho on it first. Sissoko was in a race with him. Wanyama, short pass for Chouanière. It's a good one. Lost at the edge of the box and comes back and catches an arm, and that will allow Forge to take a moment and reset.
You see what Montreal's trying to do there. They're boxing the middle of the park, but they've got some interchanging within that box, and they're asking Lassiter and Broguillard to stay nice and wide, so that when Forge does start to contract and come back into that middle to stop that box, then they look to spray it out wide.
It's the left back, Morgan. Waterman goes to ground, makes a confident challenge, but Forge very quickly able to reverse the field. So if they're able to spend any sustained offensive time in this attacking third, it's Borges. Deflected enough from Joel Waterman. Those two have certainly had some interesting moments between the two of them, most notably the 2019 Canadian Premier League final, leg 1 in Hamilton. It's late from Ashniote Janssen, and he knew he was going to receive some additional words from the referee, but immediately wanted to go to the root of the problem, let his teammates know that...
Yeah, but that's silly. He's got to be better than that. He knows he shouldn't be doing that foul, especially in that area right now. That's just frustration. And he's more professional than that. You know, he's not that type of player. He'll know himself. Should have just stayed up with him, continue marking him, get nice and tight, send the ball back, and then drop in your position. And then after, you start having a go at your players and your teammates.
Kitsoidopoulos and Joan Albert, part of Bobby Smirniotis' staff, they watch with a bit of bated breath here as Matko Miljevic will be asking more of himself if he is to take it, but instead it's Lassiter high and into the supporter section behind the goal. Seven matches played, 6 of them starts for Lassiter since being acquired by CF Montreal on the 12th of April. Battle with Wubens Pasillas. He had Rudy Camacho draped over his back and suffocating the opening space. Lassiter. Cross in, Duke looking for it. Little inter-Miami chemistry between those two players who have settled in quite nicely, I think, here in Montreal. You know, Jimmy, too, when you're traded for a fan favorite like Kamal Miller, there will be high expectations for you.
Yeah, there will be. And he'll have to settle in quick, which I think he has done. And that'll be up to the club and the teammates. Everybody get him as comfortable as possible and as fast as possible, so that he can start enjoying his football, get back into a rhythm. It's always difficult when you go to a new team as well, with different formation, different teammates, different city, new culture. It does take some time, but that's where you definitely have to rely on everybody within the organization to help you with settling into a new club. And Montreal's got the right people at the right places that can help that.
2 Forge forwards blew a tire. Montreal able to capitalize in that transition play. Choinière says adios to Victor Wanyama. Around Corbo as well. Basta's brother as he's still on the ball. Back to Pasillas, looking towards goal! Just wide of the target. David making that look far too simple through the center of the park. That's as close as Forge has come. And Waterman gets dragged away from Pasillas as well there, Jimmy.
Yeah, that's the type of play you expect from Choinière. He loves to get on the ball, loves to drive into those spaces, take players on. Has a great little reverse pass into Pasillas' path. But the big man's got to do better than that. He's got to hit the target from there. You know, you're limited with your opportunities that are going to happen in this match. And it's so important that when you do get them, you've got to take those opportunities. You've got to let the keeper work.
Boubacar Sissoko looking for a caution to accompany the tactical foul that he had just won. Once again, you can see really 4 Montreal players going with David, and Pasillas just bends that away. He is tied with Jordan Hamilton for the team lead this season in CPL play. Noah Jensen on the Forge bench had a pair of goals of brace in their preliminary round matchup. They began their campaign against FC Laval. Rama from a tight angle wasn't able to find a teammate wearing orange. Now Mathieu Choinière. For his sake, I was hoping that took a deflection off Tristan Borges, but that went backwards.
What happened there? Yeah, Vaseline on his boots, sir. That's not like him at all.
No. Coming up next from 7 p.m. Pacific time, a 10 p.m. Eastern kickoff, the Ferryside Derby. They will know their opponent, but what we won't know at kickoff is if it's going to be 2 straight wins for Pacific against Vancouver Whitecaps, or if Vanni Sartini will remain undefeated in the Canadian Championship. Storylines write themselves in that match. 2 fantastic contests on this Wednesday night in late May. A bit more scrambled, Ashniotti Janssen, feeling that pressure from the Miljeviches, the Dukes, and the Ibrahims. Borges leaves it for Kyle Becker. Nearly through 34 minutes of his first half as Becker works towards the near side, threads the pass for Choinière. Yes, Sissoko has an option this time. Couple of step overs, cuts it back for Rama. Return to Choinière, a touch to settle it down. Rama looking to get it to Pasillas. Here's Becker! Fantastic opportunity for the Forge skipper, can't keep it down. And since that first chance created by Choinière, Jimmy, they've just grown their confidence into this game.
Yeah, they definitely have. And again, Choinière being a part of these opportunities. And part of that key is when you get a player that's got that confidence, he goes on these little mazy runs, he makes something happen. Again, he wants to run at players. Give him the ball. He's hot. Every opportunity. Choinière, get out wide, we'll give you the ball, take them on. Take players on.
Well, and we know he is, there's a wealth of talent on this Forge team. There's plenty of discourse around the depth that they've been able to build this club, and that credit goes to Bobby Smirniotis. But when you think of the biggest games Forge has played, whether it's CONCACAF Champions League, CONCACAF League, Canadian Championship, CPL finals, David Choinière is almost always their best player. He lives for these occasions.
No, he's definitely one player that thrives on the big stage and big occasions. You know, a lot of players, they tend to crumble, or they just can't reach that next level where he can. It just seems like he gets so exciting, gets so up for these matches when he's playing in big games that mean something.
Montreal turn it over. A Boubacar Sissoko looking for Choinière, who had made a run towards the middle. I think that's, well, first view, I thought that was clean out from Sissoko.
It's a wrong pass there by Sissoko, wasn't it? Should have played it the other way so Choinière could run onto it, because he did bend his run to come across.
9 minutes in stoppage time. Forge do well to absorb the lion's share of the pressure that CF Montreal had offered for half an hour. Now they're starting to put together a more dangerous spell. Back heel from Choinière, Rama plays it in towards his striker, but first on it was Joel Waterman. Off David Choinière's head. Jaberpour makes a run. Rama came to the ball, but Sissoko put it where the Forge right back had just come from. Jonathan Sirois has seen enough. He wants to just calm things down and probably play to the right side of the field away from David Choinière. Wanyama for Broguillard. Duke stops short. Receives and returns to Choinière. A flick on for the captain, Wanyama. Now Miljevic. Lassiter. Camacho. Waterman and Broguillard. Joel Waterman, clever pass in for Sanusi. Ibrahim lines up a cannon and might have just been hoping for a lane that would develop or a stray arm or hand.
You know, it would have been a frustrating first half for Ibrahim. He hasn't touched the ball much, and I think because the way that Montreal's playing, they're overloading, they're crowding in and around them, so he's not getting those.
Lassiter up. Mandrakar James first on it with Ibrahim there. Just as you were saying, Jim, he hasn't been able to get that service a ton.
No, he's not getting the ball into his feet because it is a little bit crowded and those passing lanes are getting blocked. And sometimes you need to play it into that striker, and then your 2-8s underneath can play off of him. Then you can make your third runs to get him behind.
Well, only 7 touches in this first half. He actually has the fewest on the team, including Jonathan Sirois. Becker restarts quickly.
How many does Sirois have?
11.
It's more than a striker.
This is Becker. Forge Centurion. He can play some top football, both sides of the ball, defensively, offensively. No-nonsense skipper of this team from day one. Can say he's close to the back 9 of his career, but he still feels like he has plenty to offer at just 32 years of age. I'm sure he and Ashton Morgan are keeping each other young.
I tell you, Rudy Camacho's done a very good job of keeping Passes quiet up top. Every time the ball's trying to get into his feet, it's nice and tight. It's not giving him any room to play.
Broguillard has a step on Tristan Borges in the 40th minute. Crossing towards Henry, who makes the catch in the middle of his goal area. Ibrahim went bowling into the net. Definitely still so much room for Sanusi to develop at just 20 years of age. This is Sissoko. Choinière trying to get Corbeau to bite and be drawn out of position. Wins about 15 more yards on that run for Forge. Choinière takes a shot from Lassiter, and a bit of panic from CF Montreal, which we haven't really seen from them deep in their own half of the pitch. I mean, safety first, you'll always take that, but you can see that they're not as comfortable in this match as they had been. Sissoko for James. Borges now receives on the left side. Great shape from Montreal. Forces Forge back in around. Brahma draws Wanyama in, tries to play the pass towards Chouanier. Camacho lost Pasillas for a moment. Just lofts it and Lassiter. Miljevic left unattended by Alessandro Hojabrapur. Tries to get around, stays on his feet. Crunching challenge from Rezard Rama. It'll be a sore one, but that's textbook. But disappointing, admittedly, from Boubacar Sissoko. Wanyama takes it right back for CF Montreal. Now Chouanier. Could see Miljevic still slow to his feet. He was absolutely cleaned out by the Greek-born Albanian youth international.
Yeah, it was a good tackle. Just lined it up perfectly. So he had a bit of a heavy touch. As soon as his head went down, Rama was coming in. He was going to take everything out in that tackle.
There goes Pasillas. Needs some reinforcements to arrive. Chouanier on the underlap of Corbo. Sissoko. Pass wasn't exactly what he needed. Mathieu Chouanier takes it away. Rama goes back to ground, and this time he pops right back up in possession. Chouanier first on the loose ball. Three more CF Montreal players collapse onto him. Becker, about 5 yards too far to attempt or even consider the shot. Chooses the pass to Borges, and a no-nonsense clearance from Joel Waterman. Rama, something didn't quite look right, Jimmy, after that, or most recent challenge. Kind of took a moment, then popped up to his feet. I know he's your kind of player for two different reasons, Mr. Brennan. Reason number one is his style of play. Reason number two is the fact he spent 3 seasons with Nottingham Forest before coming to Forge.
Yeah, you're right.
Watch as he tries to get up. He kind of, I don't know, digs his heels in. Something just wasn't quite right. That was your chance to take your Forest victory lap, by the way. I was giving you a present.
Yes.
That was me being a good partner.
They've stayed in the Premier League. Told you from day one they were going to survive, and they did.
Your timing is getting very good. You waited for me to take a sip of water before you dropped that one.
Yeah.
That was almost expensive.
I think Bobby will be happy with his team's performance.
They'll be happy with this too. Sissoko picks the pocket of Camacho. That was a near calamity for CF Montreal at the back, and they're just hanging on for dear life at the moment, trying to get into halftime even.
Sissoko, he just was lacking that quality there. Got into a great area. That's where you got to be confident. Pick the player out.
Miljevic to Chouanier. Broguillard makes his run. Stays with Mathieu. Victor Wanyama. Lassiter. And his MLS debut at the LA Galaxy. Spent 3 seasons with them. Broguillard from Waterman. Waterman from Duke, and now Broguillard. Zachary Broguillard's cross blocked by Ashton Morgan, out for a corner with just 1 minimum minute of added time to be played in this first half. Bryce Duke standing by, and he'll have to wait a moment longer. Now he's given the green light. Bryce Duke, another incredibly high corner. Miscommunication between Lassiter and Waterman. Joel thought he had heard Ariel call him off the ball, so he gave up on it, and then Lassiter wasn't able to do anything with it.
É isso aí, pessoal. Intervalinho no Campeonato Canadense. Não tivemos gols na primeira etapa, hein? 0 a 0. Termina o primeiro tempo assim como começou. A rede não balançou, tá certo? Foram apenas 2 escanteios e nenhum gol, né? Rapaz, que fazem nada de gol ainda no Campeonato Canadense, tá certo, pessoal? Agora intervalinho aqui na Times Brasil, nosso intervalinho triunfante. Você pode ficar conosco, fica à vontade, sinta-se em casa, né? Sinta-se em casa. Você está na Times Brasil, canal apaixonado e voltado aí pelo futebol alternativo. Intervalinho triunfante aqui na Times Brasil. Vamos passar nos jogos de momento, falar um pouquinho aqui do que está acontecendo nesse mundo da bola, né? Rapaz, hein, que fazem nada de gols aqui. Também tá rolando Série B do Brasileirão, passar aqui na Série B. Vamos lá, jogos em andamento na Série B do Campeonato Brasileiro. Já reta final do jogo, né? Juventude 3, Atlético Goianiense 0, Londrina 0, Ceará 3, Vila Nova 1, Ituano 0, Vitória e CRB 0 a 0. Terminou Juventude 3, Atlético Goianiense 0. Também tá rolando a Sul-Americana, bola rolando aí, Fortaleza e São Lourenço 2 a 2. E na Libertadores da América, Cerro Porteño 0, Palmeiras 3, Liverpool de Montevidéu 1, Independente del Valle do Equador 0. Liverpool 1, Independente del Valle 0. Esse é do grupo do Corinthians, né? Daqui a pouco tem Corinthians também. O Corinthians vai jogar lá na Argentina, né? Argentino Júnior e Corinthians. Também tem o Boca Juniors em campo, né? Tem algumas equipes aí jogando. Tá bom? Então é isso. 0 a 0 aqui no Montréal e Forge. 0 a 0 também em Vitória e CRB aí na Série B do Brasileiro, né? 0 a 0 não gosto. 0 a 0 sempre quero gols, né? Sempre quero gols. Ó, também tá rolando outros jogos. Tá rolando o Campeonato Paraense, disputa do terceiro lugar. Intervalo de jogo agora. Paysandu 1, Camaté 0. E temos gol lá nos Estados Unidos, no Campeonato Nissa, tá bom? A Chattanooga 2 a 0 para cima do Albion San Diego. Também tá rolando Copa dos Estados Unidos. Olha só que zebra, hein? Copa dos Estados Unidos rolando, intervalo de jogo. Pittsburgh 1, Columbus Crew 0. Uma zebraça aí na Copa dos Estados Unidos. Na USL Championship, rolando aí Louisville City e Tulsa 0 a 0. Louisville e FC Tulsa, aí nada de gol. No campeonato Amapaense rolando, intervalo de jogo, Trem 1, Santos do Amapá 0. E temos gol na Série B do Brasileiro. Londrina diminui, agora Londrina 1, Ceará 3. E temos gol também na Sul-Americana. Fortaleza faz o terceiro gol, agora Fortaleza 3. E o Fortaleza na Sul-Americana tá imbatível, hein, por enquanto. Fortaleza 3, São Lourenço 2, né? Fortaleza tá com 4 jogos, com esse jogo de hoje, 4 jogos, 4 vitórias na Sul-Americana. Fortaleza tá imbatível, hein? Rapaz, que doideira, hein? Mas o jogo ainda não acabou ainda, né? Tá bom? Ô, Adriano, precisando ambas no jogo do Del Valle. Mano, lá eu queria um gol. Eu queria, na verdade eu preciso de um gol lá. Liverpool 1, né? Del Valle 0. Quero mais um gol nesse jogo, tá bem complicado. E também, mais difícil ainda, Vitória e CRB, né? Também queria um gol aí, nada, 0 a 0, triste aí, lamentável. E pelo jeito, né, ali, né, tá bem complicado pra sair gol. Aqui, em Montreal e Forge, apesar de não ter tido gol na primeira etapa, eu acho que para o segundo tempo as coisas vão ser diferentes, né? Assim eu espero. As equipes aqui, como aqui no Canadá o campeonato é eliminatório, o famoso playoffs, né? O famoso, né, mata-mata. Hoje é semifinal, tá bom? A Canadian Championship, apesar de ter um nome de campeonato, na verdade é uma Copa, né? Ela é um formato de chaveamento, né? Mata-mata, né? Tá bom? O Montreal, que é a equipe favorita, tida como favorita, uma equipe que já tem 30 anos de história, joga a MLS, né? O Ford, que é uma equipe que vem nos últimos anos fazendo ótimos trabalhos, né? Vem aí conquistando a liga local, né, do Canadá, que é a Canadian Premier League, né? O Ford tá tentando equilibrar com o Montreal. O Montreal tem jogadores melhor, né? Uma equipe ali com mais estrutura. É um jogo interessante, né? Eu acho assim, faltou mais ataques, faltou mais chegada, mais chute pro gol, faltou. Só que o jogo não tá ruim, não. O jogo tá interessante. O jogo não tem aquele ritmo, né, de semifinal, assim, frenético, mas tá interessante, entendeu? Jogo equilibrado. O Montreal é um pouco melhor. O Ford tenta ali, na medida do possível, igualar a partida. Um jogo bastante tranquilo, né? Foi um primeiro tempo muito tranquilo, sem falta, sem violência, né? Apenas futebol jogado, com algumas limitações ali e aqui. Mas eu acho que para o segundo tempo, né, para quem apostou, eu tô confiante para sair gols neste jogo aqui, beleza? O Adriano, obrigado, Adriano, pela sua participação, tá certo? Deixa eu ver aqui os placares de momento. Acabou Londrina 1, Ceará 3 e também acabou Vila Nova 1, Ituano 0. Falta só Vitória 1. Oh, teve gol da Vitória, Ih, maravilha, teve o gol da Vitória. Eu precisava. E acabou, rapaz, que coisa. Acabou. Wagner Leonardo fez com a assistência do Osvaldo. O Vitória vence aos 97. Agora só falta, o Adriano, só falta um gol em Del Valle, lá no jogo Liverpool de Montevidéu e Del Valle. Eu preciso de um gol, hein? Um gol pra me salvar, apenas um gol. Vai, Liverpool! Eu sei que não é o Liverpool, né, na Inglaterra, mas é o Liverpool de Montevidéu. Vai mais um golzinho, me ajuda aí, por favor. Que coisa, eu já tava ali pensando que já tinha morrido já no Vitória, mas não. Vitória fez um gol no finalzinho. Por enquanto tô vivo, falta só mais um gol no jogo do Liverpool e do Del Valle, aí na Libertadores da América. Pra me manter vivo aqui. Me manter vivo. O juiz deu 4 de acréscimo. 4 de acréscimo ali no jogo do Liverpool e do Del Valle. Ih, rapaz. Falta 2 minutos. Eu acho que seria mais um milagre. Mais um milagre pra continuar vivo aqui no meu bilhete aqui. Uma múltipla de 9 jogos. Falta mais um gol em Liverpool e Del Valle. Caraca, mano. 4 de acréscimo. Falta 2 minutos. Tem que sair um gol, senão tô ferrado. É isso aí. Aqui você acompanha na Times Brasil nosso intervalinho triunfante. Já temos a segunda etapa, né? Olha, começou na Libertadores começou na Sul-Americana, Audax Italiano e Santos. E começou também Tigre da Argentina e Tolima da Colômbia. E na Libertadores começou Deportivo Pereira da Colômbia e Argentinos, né? Quer dizer, e Boca Juniors, né? Pereira e Boca Juniors começou também na Libertadores. Daqui a pouco tem Argentinos Júniors e Corinthians, né? E também começou agora no Equador, Série B, Ibabura e Bus 0-0. Tá bom? É o que tem para hoje, né? São jogos aqui de destaque, né? Libertadores, Sul-Americana, Série B. E temos aqui Campeonato Amapaense, Série B do Equador, Campeonato Mineiro, Série B. Né? Tem aqui alguns jogos dos Estados Unidos, aqui, ó, USL Championship, Louisville City e Tulsa 0-0. É isso aí. Torcer para que saia gols aí para o segundo tempo, né? Que essa é a nossa expectativa. E assim, lembrando, amanhã temos 2 jogos, tá? Aqui agora na Times Brasil é praticamente 2 jogos por dia. Haja trabalho, hein? Haja dedicação. Ó, amanhã, você pode ver aqui na tela, ó, tá aqui, ó. Deixa eu ligar minha câmera aqui para dar um salve para vocês rapidinho, meus amigos. Beleza, galera? Tá aqui, ó. Boa noite. Intervalo na Times Brasil, ó. Amanhã, 2h30 da tarde, temos semifinal da Copa da Turquia. Amanhã, 2h30 da tarde, semifinal da Copa da Turquia. Jogo de volta, hein? Amanhã é decisão. E ali no início da noite, né? Cadê? Aqui, às 18 horas, vamos fazer mais uma vez Copa do Mundo Sub-20, Coreia do Sul e Honduras, tá bom? Vocês estão convidados como sempre, beleza? Eu acho que acabou lá, hein? Acabou, Liverpool, acabou, deu red pra mim. Liverpool de Montevidéu 1, Independiente Del Valle 0, rapaz. O Del Valle perdeu, não fez nenhum gol. E quebrou nós, Adriano. O Del Valle quebrou nós. Perdeu, não fez nenhum gol. E foi red pra tu e red pra mim. Já era. Acabou. Del Valle. Del Valle, hein? Você é terrível, hein? Perde pro Liverpool. Não faz nenhum gol. E me quebra. Ainda quebra o Adriano Machado. É brincadeira. Rapaz, meu bilhete foi destruído pelo Del Valle. Também. Eu fiz 9 jogos. Tinha mais um para acontecer ainda que vai ser amanhã, mas não importa mais. Desses 9 jogos, 8 de hoje, 8, eu acertei 7. Só faltou mais um gol aí no jogo do Liverpool e do Del Valle. Infelizmente, foi um red triste, mais um para coleção. Eita, nós. Ainda bem que não foi um valor, né, ali, né, tão alto que eu apostei, mas, né, uma perca, né, sempre ruim, né. Lamento bastante. Para você, Adriano, também para mim. Então, continuando, amanhã vamos fazer 2 jogos, né? Copa da Turquia, semifinal. É difícil falar o nome do time, né? Tenho que estudar mais um pouquinho, mas é assim, amanhã 2h30, vou fazer aqui para vocês Ankaragucu versus Istambul Başakşehir, tá bom? Jogo de volta da semifinal da Copa da Turquia, amanhã 2h30 da tarde, Ankaragucu e Istambul Başakşehir. E no início da noite, às 18 horas, tem Copa do Mundo Sub-20, lá na Argentina. Coreia do Sul versus Honduras. Sexta-feira, já confirmada aqui na Times Brasil, às 15h45 da tarde. Olha só, sexta-feira, às 15h45, famoso 15h45, né? Fazer Série B da França. Nice, lutando para não cair para a Série C da França, versus o Bordeaux, lutando aí para subir, para voltar para a elite do futebol francês. E a tendência também tem mais um joguinho de noite amanhã na sexta, beleza? A tendência tem mais um joguinho aqui sul-americano aí pra sexta-feira, tá certo? Sábado vai ter futebol na Times Brasil. Sábado promete, hein? Sábado promete Série D do Brasileirão, hein? Eita, nós e domingo, hein? Domingo vai ter coisa boa, hein? Fica ligadinho, beleza? Domingo vai ter segunda. Aqui é jogos quase todos os dias, beleza? Lamento aí mais uma vez pro Adriano. Perdeu aí. É complicado. Então é isso, ó. Terminou. Cerro Porteño 0, Palmeiras 3. Resultado bem de boa. Palmeiras teve 2 expulsões, né? Teve 2 expulsões no jogo do Palmeiras, né? Palmeiras fez. O Cerro Porteño, né, tomou um gol. Teve um jogador expulso. Depois o Palmeiras fez 1x0 com o Arthur. Depois o Arthur de novo. Depois o Rony. Aí depois, né, teve uma expulsão ali uma cotovelada do Rios, né, do Palmeiras. Aí ficou, né, 2 expulsões no jogo. Então, Cerro Porteño 0, Palmeiras 3, Liverpool 1, Del Valle 0. Aí tá jogando agora Deportivo Pereira e Boca Juniors. Daqui a pouco tem Argentino Júnior e Corinthians, Nublense e Flamengo. E 11 da noite, Melgar e Atlético Nacional da Colômbia. Na Sul-Americana, acaba na Sul-Americana, Fortaleza 3, imbatível Leão do PC, Fortaleza 3, São Lourenço 2, estão jogando Audax Italiano e Santos 0x0, também Tigre e Tolima. Aí mais tarde tem Blumen e New Old Boys. Tá certo? Aqui o nosso jogo é o canadense, né? Canadian Championship. É o campeonato mais assim de prestígio, mais antigo e tradicional do Canadá, né? Temos a liga local, que os times jogam ali por pontos corridos, né? Que é a Canadian Premier League, mas esse aqui é a Canadian Championship, que na verdade não é um campeonato, né? Championship é campeonato em português, né? Mas, na verdade é uma Copa, né? Que é mata-mata. Hoje vai acontecer os 2 jogos das semifinais, né? Está rolando o nosso jogo aqui, Montréal e Forge, 0-0. E mais tarde vai acontecer a outra semifinal, que é o Pacific versus Vancouver Whitecappers. Aí quem vencer esses 2 jogos vão para a final. Todos os jogos são jogos únicos, não tem volta, beleza? E é isso aí. Bom, deixa eu ver aqui o que tem mais para falar. Intervalinho triunfante, né? Times Brasil. O pessoal vai chegando, vai participando, vai interagindo. Fica à vontade, pode participar conosco, beleza? E deixa o like, me ajuda aí. O Adriano, acertei 5 de 5 no bilhete. E esse do Del Valle, você errou? Igual eu, né? Deu ruim aqui. Então é isso, vamos aqui nos ajeitando. Daqui a pouquinho. O árbitro autoriza, bola rolando. A bola volta a rolar, começa o segundo tempo, quebra tudo. Montreal, quebra tudo. Forge. Os 2 times já estão correndo atrás da bola. Aqui, na minha nação, na nossa Times Brasil, canal apaixonado por futebol. Vem comigo, torcedor. A bola tá rolando, livre, leve e solta. 0-0, eu quero gol, hein? Eu quero gol. E tem falta. Tem falta pro time da casa. Falta pro Montreal. Jogando lá em Montreal mesmo. Lá em Quebec. Até quando esse 0-0 no placa da Times Brasil? Vem comigo, torcedor. Eu quero gol. Quanto mais gol, melhor. E temos gol no Campeonato Mineiro da Série B. O Betim amplia. Agora Varginha 0, Betim 2. Lá na Série B de Minas. E vem o Montreal pra tentar abrir o placar na time. Vai pra cima, Montreal. Vai pra cima. Quebra tudo. Vancouver o Ford se segura. E o Montreal voltou ali com aquela vontade de cumprir a obrigação, né? Que muitos apontam como favorito, tendo em vista que a equipe que joga a MLS, o clube do Montreal, tem mais estrutura, assim, mais antigo, né? Tem ali um pouco mais de qualidade, essa é a verdade. Mas o Ford não é ruim, não. O Ford também, ele tenta aí se superar, né? É um jogo interessante. Só tá faltando os gols. Eu quero gol. Quanto mais gol, melhor. Vem comigo, torcedor. Vem comigo, torcedor. Deixa o like, participa, se inscreva. Me ajudem a fazer esta transmissão acontecer. 0-0. Eu quero gol, hein? Quem quer gol, levanta a mão pra cima e deixa o like. O Montreal voltou ali com mais ímpeto, hein? Voltou ali com mais energia, me parece ali. O time da casa, Montreal, lá em Quebec, voltou com mais dedicação ali pelo jeito. Tem mais vontade de vencer. Veio com mais ímpeto ali de buscar a vitória. 0-0, eu quero gol, hein? Eu quero gol. Já com 2 minutos e meio desse segundo tempo, aqui na Times Brasil.
And open it up and wrap his foot around it. He was leaning back a little bit too much and the ball was constantly rising, but that's an opportunity where you think he's got to be able to hit the target there.
Jimmy, we see Hernan Losada go into his bag of tricks. 2 strikers is definitely a much different look that Forge will have to contend with differently, with both 04 and Ibrahim on the field.
Yeah, I think you're going to look to see Montreal play in a way where they're going to look to spring their forwards by just playing balls direct at times or threaded pass in between the center backs and the full backs.
There is the Montreal gaffer on the bench, excuse me, with his side saying it's a close match, a complicated match with a lot of duels. I don't want to talk about a lack of energy or lack of effort, but when reflecting on that 2-1 loss to the Red Bulls, he said we for sure gave them too many chances. Both of their goals start with mistakes on our part. Very happy with the group, but in those 6 games in a row that they had won, including the 2 against TFC, the substitutes came in and had a great impact, and he will certainly hope for the same today with 04 and company. Saliba, Herrera, Campbell, Rea, and Vilsain also on the CF Montreal bench. For Forge, Dom Samuel, Jordan Hamilton, Taron Campbell, Noah Jensen, Garvin Miche, Matusala, and Malik Owalabi Belawu. Forge in their 4-3-3. Ashton Morgan, Alex Ashnodi-Janssen, Mandrakar James, and Rezard Rama make up the back line. With Jabrapur just in behind of Becker and Sissoko. Borges, Pasillas, Chouanière up top. Tristan Henry in goal.
You'd imagine Forge Bobby would be looking to bring on Jordan Hamilton at some point, maybe even Campbell.
Better ball from CF Montreal. Race for Ibrahim to keep it in play. Ashnodi-Janssen defending. That's just played out wide for Lassiter. Cross never comes in as Rezard Rama occupies that space and makes the block.
Montreal, you'd like to see them be a little bit more creative in and around the box. At times in that first half, yeah, it was nice. He had some good possession, some good movement. But nothing came out of it. And it's got to be a little bit more clinical in and around that box. So relying an awful lot on crosses coming in.
Yards cross looking for a surging Ginozzo 04. Jimmy, there's been a lot of talk, and rightfully so, on Mathieu Chouanière for CF Montreal, but I think the progression we've seen from Zachary Brault-Guillard, even over a couple of seasons. I remember the men's Olympic qualifying tournament when he was there. He was chasing everything. He was never comfortable, never settled. He obviously is a fast player who's pretty good with the ball at his feet, but he just looks like a professional now. He's got his opportunities, and he's settling in nicely, and is definitely a weapon for this Montreal side.
No, he is. And he's definitely, you could see he's grown as a professional. He's got more composure as well when he's on that ball. His decision making's a lot better now, and that just comes with more games being played. You tend to relax a little bit more because you've seen that picture many times that you know, okay, listen, if I just drift into this pocket, I'm going to get a little bit more time than what I would have done before, where I'm always reacting. Now you can see he's looking around, trying to find the space so that when he does receive the ball, he's got time to play.
Jonathan Sirwa once again getting the start tonight for CF Montreal. Both he and the man backing him up on the Montreal bench, former Valour goalkeepers on loan, James Pantemis, being named to the team sheet over Logan Ketterer this evening. Clever from Sissoko. It's David Chouanière. Jabrapur first on it. A decision for Mathieu Chouanière to make. Becker for Ashton Morgan. His cross gets through David Chouanière. It's Borges. His cross just over the head of Pasillas. Winds up at the feet of Abubakar Sissoko, who keeps the ball in play. Return to Sissoko. Camacho first on it. Careful not to concede the corner, but it will stay with Forge.
Borges had a little bit of luck there where the ball just fell at his feet. I would have liked to see him just take that space, drive towards goal, and have a dig yourself. He had so much space, but decided to cross, and it was a wasted opportunity.
Rezard Rama. Looks like he's going to give the ball up to Tristan Borges, and it's way too early for some nerves to start settling for CF Montreal. They still believe that they're the better team, that they should win this match. And they have all of those Canadian championships under their belt already. Borges a bit wasteful.
It's been a bit quiet this match for me. Tristan Borges hasn't really offered much. When you look at the right side, Chouanière, he's been so involved, constantly looking to get on the ball, run at players. I'd like to see Borges get on the ball and be a little bit more productive than what he's been down that left side.
Here's Ariel Lassiter. Cuts onto his right foot. Another touch towards the middle. Low strike. Bobbles around and beats Tristan Henry. A harmless enough looking strike that redirects off a Forge defender. And CF Montreal has their goal. The bell sounds. And now they can try and defend a lead. Ariel Lassiter will get the goal for the home side.
why not? Does well, just coming inside. Thinks I'm gonna have a crack here. There's not much options on for me. Doesn't really get much on it as well. It's almost a scuff. And gets a little break, and Henry's got no chance because of the deflection.
Oh, that look from Alessandro Hojabrpour says it all. The man who clinched the North Star Shield for Forge in 2022 is unfortunately in the wrong place at the wrong time. And now Forge are going to have to chase. Be careful not to concede and completely cave in. But in this one-match winner-take-all, if you don't score, you're going home with nothing. The goal scorer, Lassiter. Crossing in towards O'Four. It's going to sit for him. O'Four! Over the bar! He could have all but won the match in a span of 2 minutes, and Forge get their lifeline.
O'Four, he did everything right. He did the hard work, controlled it, got the space, got the ball to land in front of him. And all he's got to do is just tap it in. But somehow gets under it a little bit too much and clears the bar. That's one, I'm telling you, he'll be thinking about that for the next 5 minutes, thinking, how did I just miss this opportunity?
Well, the Forge weren't just handed a wake-up call with the conceded goal. They are going to have to absorb a very significant amount of opportunities for CF Montreal, playing with that confidence. When it's level, penalties are in the back of your mind. The upset in the back of your mind, but you get your goal, you remind yourself that you can and should do it, and they're playing with that composure right now. Here's Broguillard. Mandrakar James, a defensive header. Sissoko, as he's being pressured by Mathieu Choinière. And his last off of David, rotating quickly. This is Wanyama. Pasillas dropping back to help defend. Hojabrpour can't take the ball away. Cut back from Ibrahim! From outside the box, Bryce Duke.
Again, you can just see Montreal's got a little spring in her step. They've got that confidence. Here, he's done so well to split the defenders and knock that ball in front of him. And again, Duke, you could see he's just trying to wrap his foot around it, but he's just leaning back and puts it over the bar. This is where Forge now, they got to try to get that ball back as quick as possible. Try to slow Montreal's momentum down.
Rudy Camacho. Using the outside of the foot, looking for the goal-scoring Costa Rican international. Forge cough it up. Lassiter for Duke. Hojabrpour deals with the first time, but it's worked around for Mathieu Choinière. Fancies himself a goal.
He does well here, just gets it out of his feet perfectly. Again, just leaning back.
There goes Ashton Morgan, the former TFC man. He won't be a stranger to Stade Saputo. For Lassiter, his first goal for CF Montreal. An assist in that 4-1 win against York United on the road. Excuse me. Take that back. Where am I? I'm getting my MLS sides mixed up. It was Vancouver on the road.
I've covered a lot of games lately.
Hey, listen, I'm thinking about the next game that's coming up too. Who is going to face the winner of this match? That's what that was. Of course, the 2-1 TFC and CF Montreal. You and I were at BMO for that game. 59th minute.
I think now coming around that 60th mark, is Bobby going to make a couple of changes here, bring on some fresh legs? Does he change his tactics? I'm I'm sure him and his staff right now will be trying to figure out what their next move is going to be over this next 30 minutes. Being 1-0 down, Montreal be comfortable right now, just keeping possession, knowing that Ford just got to come out of them, come out of their shape.
Broguillard, softly controlled. Lots of bodies in that attacking third as Choinière had left it for Duke. Now it's Becker trying to dribble away from pressure. A little overzealous was Mathieu Choinière. Foul is called. Asking for a little bit more attacking play from his left back, Morgan. Borges. That's more like it from Tristan. Pass with a lot of pace. Morgan does well to settle it down. Now Becker. Switched over to Rezard Rama. Rama went in. Thought he was fouled by Lassiter. I tend to agree with him.
Looked like a foul to me.
Well, there's definitely options for Bobby Smirniotis and how he wants to try and use his bench. You bring in an experienced player like Jordan Hamilton. You can shift Pasillas if you want to keep him on the field. Pasillas is on the ball right now, but that's why he had so much time. He was well offside.
Yeah, Sissoko's got to talk to him there. Sissoko's out wide. He can see the line. Knows Pasillas is offside. Just tell him to leave it.
So 4 gets tangled up with Alex Achinioti-Janssen. Advantage played. Duke chooses Lassiter. Rama slides. I mentioned his time with Force in the U19 Champions League. He played against the likes of Erling Haaland, Gabe Puig, amongst others. Also no stranger to cup competitions in big moments. Waterman and Broguillard, that's very clever. 04. Mathieu Choinière, Mandrakar James puts his body in front of the ball. There's no doubt they're just hanging on right now, Forge.
Yeah, they seem to be struggling a little bit now. As Montreal's changed their formation, changed their tactics. They've got 2 players up top now. Forge just haven't seemed to adapt to it yet.
Montreal goes short with the corner. Broguillard goes for the cross, the header, right at Tristan Henry, made the catch. Trying to go quick, big boot, and Tristan Borges is going to chase after it. Sirois jogging back into position. Safety man Gabriele Corbo. Choinière for Sirois. The winner of this match will be on the road for the Canadian Championship final. The bracket had been drawn ahead of time, so we know it will be held in BC. Whether that's in Victoria or Vancouver is to be determined. For the window between the 6th and 8th of June, that's when the Voyageurs Cup will be awarded. Henry was all the way out of his goal. Not the best pass from Achinioti-Janssen, but Morgan doesn't help the situation much either. Wanyama. Rama closes down quick, goes in with a heavy challenge. Ruled to be fair by the referee, just a few steps away. Nice cut back from David Choinière. Sissoko, if it was over the head of Corbo, there might have been a chance, excuse me, of Waterman, there might have been a chance for Borges. Rare miscommunication, and yes, that's a frustrating one for Gabriele. Andrew James. 17 caps in his Canadian international career. From Sigma to Hungary, Denmark, Greece, the Ukraine, excuse me. North York, Missouri man as well. Had a distinguished career. 29 years of age. Rama. Return from Sissoko. Wanyama initiates with a challenge. Camacho right there to jam up Razard Rama. Will be a Montreal goal kick.
That's better play by Forge as well. Trying to get in behind. Little underlap by Rama. Just want to see both your fullbacks bombing on now. You have to start getting forward.
Still looking for their first shot on target, Forge. Here's a four, just blows by Morgan and misses again. That is two golden opportunities to double this advantage. The acceleration, Jimmy, he was gone.
Yeah, he was gone. It was a little bit too much for Morgan. He couldn't keep up with him. But again, just getting under the ball. I thought Henry's gone down a little bit early. I thought he could easily went around him. But he's trying to just chip it, whether it did bobble or not. It's still got to be better than that. That's two great opportunities that he had. And by not finishing them, you still allow Forge to be in this match.
Well, a former Chicago Fireman. His 5th MLS season, acquired in August of last year. Began his pro career in the Latvian top flights. Born in Jos, Nigeria, still 22 years of age. Well, that's so clever from Bryce Duke. Rama, who's been one of, if not the best player in orange, makes another great tackle. And he's controlling the offense now for Forge. 3 on his left, 1 on his right. Chooses Chouanier. Chouanier's cross, floats it up. Does it make it to Becker? No. Well read by Bro Guillard. Stepping though is Ashton Morgan. Hojabrapur to Kyle Becker. Onto his right foot. Poor cross, easily met by Joel Waterman and away. Ashton Janssen tries to head to keep the play going, but he can't clean it up. Now a 4 was in again, but Ashton Janssen makes the slide. That would have been brought back anyways for an offside flag, but that is an anxious moment for the Hammers. And a substitution will be made here in the 67th minute. It will be like for like up top. Hamilton in for Pasillas. Taron Campbell will come into the match to replace Tristan Borges, and the last change will be Garvin Miche Matusala. And he will replace Alessandro Hojabrapur. A triple change for Bobby Smirniotis here in the 68th minute.
That's good substitutions by Bobby. Brought in some fresh legs.
Now I imagine Matusala will drop back to center back, and Ashton Janssen will be able to get a little bit more forward.
Matusala as well. We'll give him a little bit more pace as well. In the back there. Knowing how quick Ofar is. And then on the flip side as well, bringing Hamilton to Campbell, it also gives Forge a little bit more pace going forward, which will keep the Montreal defenders on their toes, provided they do get the service.
And it must be said, Jordan Hamilton will need to be far more clinical today than he was at Tim Hortons Field on Friday against Vancouver Football Club, who came to Hamilton for the first time and held Forge without a goal, though Hamilton had 2 or 3 clear-cut scoring opportunities. There will not be that many for Forge. As well as they play, they have to be clinical now with just over 20 minutes if they want to sniff at a shootout.
Yeah, they've got to do a little bit more going forward now. Forge has only had really 2 shots on goal in the last number of minutes now. Shots on goal has gone up to 12 for Montreal. But you can see they're more on the front foot now, trying to get the game by the scruff of the neck, creating more opportunities. The Forge will know that they'll get one or two more opportunities in this match, but they've got to be clinical in and around that box.
It was near perfect for David Chouanier, who thought he was fouled just to the edge of the attacking third. Referee Pierre-Luc Lausière saying play on. I mean, he made two CF Montreal midfielders look invisible as he just danced around them. Nicely controlled by Ofor, who nutmegs Mandrakar James. He's in for Ibrahim, but Matusala a toe to it to make sure it didn't arrive on target. Here's the goal scorer, Lassiter. Into the box, a step over. Now his cross up for Ofor. No, denied by Henry. Broguillard's shot is blocked by Ashton Morgan. And Broguillard will watch that over the line for a corner. Tristan Henry suspended in space to deny Ofor a third opportunity and keeps Forge in this game.
This is great play by Ofor. Just turning nutmeg and James. Tries to play a ball across. Over, hits it. Lassiter here driving at Rama. Does what you need to do in that position. Just lift it to the far post. And Ofor rises above James. But what a save by Henry. Moving his feet, eyes on the ball. What a great save that was.
Well, he is a goalkeeper that has played on such a well-organized team for so many years that he's often overlooked. And you know he is well aware that he does not have the personal accolades that he feels he deserves. He's been around the continent with this Forge side, and that is one of the biggest stops of his Hamilton career. It'll be a double move for Hernan Losada, bringing in Sean Rea and Nathan Saliba. Ariel Lassiter, of course, exits with the goal. He was one of the best players on the park for the home side. Sean Rea, who scored his first ever goal for his boyhood club in this tournament so far this season, will look to help set up an insurance marker. He, of course, no stranger to Forge. The best U21 Canadian player in the CPL last year on loan. His first service is from the corner. Up for Ofor. It's going to be Forge who try to dribble away. Sissoko trying to get wide first. But it's last off of him, and the throw will stay with CF Montreal. Jimmy, the saves, the almost desperate defending from Forge makes an exciting match, but it's all for naught if they can't find a way to get forward.
It's absolutely true. Montreal's had a few wasted opportunities, gotten some great positions, just couldn't finish. Again, you keep Forge in the match, then your keeper, Forge's keeper, Henry, makes a fantastic save, keeping his team in. And he'll be looking at his attackers now saying, I've made that save, I've kept you in the game. Go get me a goal now. And you're hoping to give him something back.
And if they do, he might be required to make another save or two from spot kicks. But Forge, they gotta get there first. This is the Canadian Premier League's all-time leading goal scorer, Taron Campbell. Referee blows the whistle for a foul in the build-up of the transition game against Sean Rea. Had 5 goals and a league-leading 9 assists last year with Valor, Sean Rea. 20 years of age out of Laval. When Forge have needed a goal in matches of this magnitude, they've very often been able to look to David Chouanier and Kyle Becker to either create or score it. They have 17 minutes and maybe another minute or two of stoppage time. Out to safety from Rudy Camacho. He started all 12 matches that he's played in this year for CF Montreal in league play, over almost, 1,000 minutes. Probably be more if not for the red card that he has also picked up this campaign. Better from Forge. They march all the way down, Jimmy, and win a corner. Their first opportunity from the flag in this match. CF Montreal has had 4 of them already. Their pre-rehearsed short routine. Chouanière for Matusala. No one running onto that cross from Garvin, and it's an easy catch from Sirois.
Yeah, it was a bit too straight and flat, really.
Garvin of Terrebonne had been slated to go play for the Concordia University Stingers before he was picked up by Forge in the CPL U Sports draft. Has not looked back since. He's been one of the biggest success stories out of that draft. Won a League One title with Blainville as well back in 2020.
Concordia Stinger, that's Greg Sutton's team, wasn't it? Wasn't he the head coach there?
I believe so.
Former Toronto FC, Montreal goalkeeper, Canadian international. I'm only saying that because it's my buddy and my old roommate.
And you don't know the answer to the question? Why are you asking me if it's your buddy?
Because I know it.
Say, isn't it? I digress. This time, Forge go into the box with the corner. Rama drives that volley into the ground, has it blocked by Sinisi Ibrahim. Well, this is more like it from them. Growing into the game, still a long way to go. Rama tries to dance around Saliba. Just stands his ground, Saliba does. Finds an outlet and a clearance of 4. Creates some separation with Matusala. Waiting for his cross. Short pass instead. Striker to striker for Ibrahim. Waterman. To Broguillard. Sean Rea making a run towards the penalty area. Broguillard, long cross towards 04. Cuts it back off his head. Can't find his teammate. Wanyama keeps the play alive. Rea to Saliba. And then Saliba jams up with David Chouanière. Forge throw. 77th minute at Stade Saputo.
Again, Broguillard with a great ball into the box. Ashton Morgan, he's got to get a lot tighter. He's giving him a little bit too much joy out there. Too many opportunities to put that ball into the box.
Well, they've withstood their pressure. Forge for the most part. Ariel Lassiter scores a goal that deflects off Alessandro Hujabrapour. One of 11 shots in just the second half for CF Montreal, who have really poured it on. No shot attempts, period, from Forge in this second half to date. Wanyama for Saliba. Too much pace on it, never a chance for Broguillard. Saliba had signed his first pro contract with CF Montreal, December 2020. As Bobby Smirniotis looks to the attacking midfielder Noah Jensen to see if he can help create an equalizer. Mandrakar James can't clear. Ibrahim punishes the mistake from the Forge center back. And CF Montreal finally has an insurance marker. They are well on their way to another Canadian Championship final, as there's just too much velocity behind that bomb from Ibrahim. Scoring again for Forge, his 5th all-time in the Canadian Championship.
You could see the relief on the coaching staff. Finally seeing that ball hit the back of the net. But it was a giveaway. And Ibrahim there, you could see he's silky with it as well. Just drops a shoulder, fakes like he's going to go inside, takes it out, and goes for raw power. And Henry's got no chance with that. He tries to get something on it, but it's just way too much power to control.
Well, no goals in MLS play yet this season, but he continues to dominate this Canadian Championship, Sinisi Ibrahim. It's his second of this tournament. And it all but put CF Montreal into the final. Kyle Becker replaced by Noah Jensen. It was a hole to climb out of for Forge before. It is nearly a canyon now. It is a long, long way back, and it has to be everything forward for the next 10 minutes. Doesn't matter if they concede again. Here's Taron Campbell. Ashton Morgan. He took the captain's armband from Kyle Becker on his departure from this match. Ashnodi Janssen can't reach Campbell. Keeps barreling forward, trying to put the pressure on. Victor Wanyama is cleared away. 80 minutes down, 10 in stoppage time to go. Ibrahim charging down Tristan Henry. Hangs it up in the air and it's taken away by Saliba. Ofor, who might be the most relieved man on the park right now after that second goal. For Mathieu Chouanière, Ofor! Stopped by Tristan Henry for a fourth time. Might be the highest XG in Canadian Championship history without a goal for one player.
That was a perfect ball into the box. Ofor does well, getting it down, just not enough power on it, try to pick out the corner. The way it's looking, I think Ofor could be playing for another hour and a half, and I don't think he'd end up getting a goal today after the opportunities he's missed.
Brody Yard for Sean Rea. Sean Rea, low cross in towards Ibrahim. Immediately met by Garvin Miche-Matusel and out for a corner. George Campbell standing by to come in for CF Montreal here as well as they rotate through, now comfortably ahead.
Yeah, there's Rea, gets his head up. Little cut back. Matusela does well just to get his leg out. But I'll tell you one thing, Losada, you know, as much as we're talking about Ofor, the chances that he's had, at least you got a striker that's getting into, into those areas, getting those opportunities, which shows that everybody around him collectively are working to provide him the service.
Another move for Bobby Smirniotis as Ashton Morgan is replaced by Dom Samuel here in the 82nd minute. It is Rudy Camacho who makes way. Jules-Anthony Vilsain also getting ready for an entrance to this match as Ashton Morgan says hello to a couple CF Montreal substitutes on his walk back to the bench. Rea, Broguillard and Chouanière. Broguillard puts it right back at Matusela. This is Waterman. Matusela gets stuck in. It wasn't going to be beat. You know, this is probably something of a boyhood dream for Garvin as well. Now Jensen nowhere near David Chouanière. It's wasteful. They had numbers too, Jimmy.
No, they had numbers going forward. There, you'd like to see, just take the space. I understand what you're trying to do, but he didn't really look at the picture. He didn't see Trenier. He wasn't making the run that he thought he was.
Here is the next move as Vilsain enters for Sinisi Ibrahim. It took bringing a second striker onto the field, Jimmy, to help open up some opportunities, but he made the most of it. A blistering strike that beats Tristan Henry on a tight angle. And it's been a lot more relaxed here at Stade Saputo since his goal.
Yeah, he was a lot more effective in that second half. Roman Losada did the right thing, changing his tactics at halftime, going with two strikers up top. and giving the service into the men up top who created more opportunities themselves. And they were rewarded with their goals. I felt in the first half they weren't too productive, weren't getting the service, weren't getting in behind. And a completely different team this second half, that's for sure.
Oh, turnover. It's Vilsaint. Low driving cross at Henry again. Following up Beaufort. It's handled by the center backs and cleared away.
Vilsaint's touch just let him down there, took him away from goal.
Well, they are not satisfied with two, looking for another 3-0 results right here at Stade Saputo over Forge. That's a great follow-up run from Jensen. A 4-on-2 for Forge. Campbell to Choinière. David Choinière dancing around. His shot is blocked by Broguillard. Support from Dom Samuel. Pulls it around Sean Rea. His cross in. Met by Joel Waterman following up Ashinyoti Janssen. Jensen turns right around. Charges at Victor Wanyama. Tackled off the ball and now Rea. Matusala had blown a tire. Vilsaint gets tangled up with Matusala again. Surely that has to be a foul. Pierre-Luc Lozier, I guess, calls that incidental contact. That's why he has the whistle and I have a microphone, I suppose.
That was a foul.
Thanks, partner. Can always count on you. Nicely done by Dom Samuel to win it.
You gotta give credit to Montreal, though. The second half, they've just been dominant, haven't they? Just controlled the game. The number of opportunities they had. It's a little bit too much for Forge.
Zachary Broguillard will take home our Gatorade performance of the match tonight. 3 chances created and played so well out wide for Montreal today. Nine total crosses in this match as well. Using his speed to open up those lanes, Broguillard. Thought in general, the midfield was absolutely exquisite tonight for CF Montreal. This is Rea. Ball was in behind him, but he does well to recover and keep moving forward. Broguillard looks for another cross. Can't get that off for Vilsaint. Cut out by Matusala.
You can see what he was trying to do there. He's got to play it a little bit earlier. Because when he did have that touch and then lifted his head, by the time he put it back down, that window was closed. Sometimes when you know where your strikers are, it's just a touch and whip it as quick as you can into that box. Giving a little bit too much time, those windows pass. And they tend to get cut out.
Jordan Hamilton, since coming in nearly 20 minutes ago, has only been able to muster 6 touches on the ball. Forge have been stymied. They've not been able to get that final pass in. Less than 70 minutes from now, we will be kicking off at Starlight Stadium in Langford for the second semi-final of the day as Pacific hosts Vancouver Whitecaps in another Ferry Side derby. Looking like the winner of that match will be playing CF Montreal in the second week of June for the Voyageurs Cup. Hamilton can't get his cross over the head of Wanyama. Jensen brings it in, cuts it back to Choinière. Pod down, following up, and another save by Sirois. CF Montreal still can't clear Ashinyoti Janssen. Plays it to himself, but then plays it high. Sirois diving left and right to deny the man in orange, trying to keep his clean sheet alive.
Jensen does here. It was a good run by Choinière as well, just coming across. Gets slotted in, hits a target. And that's what you want to do, make the keeper work. Jordan Hamilton's coming in now on his strong left foot with power. Another great save. Jensen just gets under it.
Well, next up for Forge, they will stay on the road. In fact, they will head straight to the nation's capital. Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern time, they take on Atlético Ottawa right here on One Soccer. We'll be back at home to wrap up the month hosting York United, and then away to Cavalry, home to Pacific, and away to Valour. That is a lot of traveling back and forth from Hamilton the next 5 matches. Rhea, Andrew Carr James can locate at 04. He's going to park himself deep in Forge territory. It's last off of James, and for a CF Montreal corner. And for Bobby Smirniotis, the best ever start that he has overseen for Forge in their 5-year history. You know how much they wanted this win today for a chance to fight for the V Cup once again, having already made it to a Canadian Championship final. Much different path to get there, but they gave TFC a game. But it will be a draw and a defeat in an 11-round shootout to CF Montreal. In fact, they have never scored against this side. 4 minutes of added time to be played to change that. CF Montreal will stay right here at home. Saturday, Inter Miami come to town. Return for Kamal Miller. This is new side. And DC United away on the 31st of May. Away to Philadelphia, and then home to Minnesota United and Nashville SC. Will feel good for them as well to get back into the win column after that fantastic run of half a dozen matches where they were the protagonists in dominating play. 6 consecutive wins. This is Chouanière to the middle. Jensen lost it for a moment. 1 of the 4 minutes of added time through. Jensen's cross, not past Campbell. And taken away by Sean Rhea. 4 goes. Long ball up towards Vilsaint.
It was a wrong decision there by Rhea. Before, you know his pace. He's putting his head down, ready to open up his legs. Just put the ball in front of him, into the space behind. Let him run. That's why you could see how Ford was frustrated there.
This is Chouanière. Great cross for Taron Campbell. It was a gift that he never thought would reach him over the head of the center back, and wasn't able to do anything with this opportunity.
Again, Chouanière being a part of things that are happening in this match, being the creator for Forge. And I don't think Campbell realized just how much time he had there. Could have actually taken at his knee and volleyed it.
Right. Almost had time for a cup of coffee while he was at it. There was no one else around. Has to be said that the Chouanière derby, the 2 brothers that feature in it, finally going head-to-head, they both played so well for their respective side. Campbell cuts that out this time. Rhea. And behind him, Vilsaint, who had left for Europe in 2020 to play with Royal Antwerp in the Belgian top flight and the reserve team. He's in the Canadian provisional squad for the 2022 CONCACAF Under-20 Championships. No MLS minutes yet for the Montrealer, but he has been named to the bench 4 times. Ashinyori Janssen. From right to left for Samuel. Little to do other than break up the clean sheet now for Forge, but Samuel's ball gets away from him. CF Montreal less than a minute away from going back to the Canadian Championship final. Gonna be worked all the way back. Metusala has to take a touch to get it to Henry just before the box. Stick with us at full time when we head west for the second semifinal. Who will play CF Montreal for the Voyageurs Cup? CF Montreal have done it. And a second consecutive year, and for the third time, they prevail past Forge in the Canadian Championship and will compete for a one-match winner-take-all for the Voyageurs Cup. For our director, Scott Tetro, our technical director in Montreal, Thierry La Liberté, my partner, Jimmy Brennan, I've been Adam Jenkins. CF Montreal still with Forge's number. They prevail at home once again. At full time in this semifinal, it is CF Montreal 2, Forge 0.
É isso aí, pessoal. Fim de papo. Game Over vence o Montreal 2-0 aqui na Times Brasil. Fim de papo. Não há tempo para mais nada, pessoal. Game Over. Acabou. Tá certo, galerinha? Muito obrigado pela audiência. Voltamos amanhã, 2h30 da tarde, com a Copa da Turquia. Beleza? Amanhã, aqui na Times Brasil, 2h30. Temos um jogo da Copa da Turquia, um jogo importante, semifinal, jogo de volta. Amanhã vale vaga na final da Copa da Turquia, beleza? Fim de papo, tá rolando aí Série B, Guarani em campo, Chapecoense, né? Você viu, Guarani 2, Chapecoense 1, tá rolando aí Corinthians, Flamengo, Boca Juniors em campo na Libertadores. Nós fizemos aqui um jogo, né, diferente, fizemos aqui o Canadá, né, que o nosso foco é esse, né? O seu Madruga, esqueci de apostar nesse jogo, na verdade ia de par. Seu Madruga churrasqueiro, rapaz, quem será esse seu Madruga churrasqueiro? Quem será, hein? Sabemos que é o pai da Chiquinha, hein? Sabemos que é o pai da Chiquinha, com certeza. Valeu, seu Madruga churrasqueiro, valeu Marcos Vinícius, o Adriano Machado conosco também, Adriano Machado, o nosso amigo Douglas conosco aí, obrigado. Valeu ao Mário Simas, mandou um pix pra nós aí, valeu, pessoal. Então é isso, fim de papo, quem me ouve, não há tempo pra mais nada, né? O Montreal está na final da Canadian Championship, que é a Copa, né? Não é o campeonato, mas sim a Copa do Canadá. Tá certo? Amanhã eu volto, 2 jogos, tá? 2h30. Temos aí, deixa eu só pegar aqui o nome dos times, que é bem complicado, né? Vamos lá, amanhã, 2h30 da tarde, teremos aqui na Times Brasil Ankaraguco versus o Istambul Basaksehir, tá certo? Às 18 horas, 6 horas, ali no começo da noite, né? 6 horas da noite, ou 6 da tarde, como preferirem. Coreia do Sul e Honduras pela fase de grupo da Copa do Mundo Sub-20, amanhã 6 horas às 18, Coreia do Sul e Honduras. Sexta-feira, 3h45 da tarde, Liga 2 da França, Nice e Bordeaux. O Nice brigando para não cair para a terceira divisão e o Bordeaux brigando para subir para a elite do futebol francês, beleza? Tá aí os nossos próximos 3 jogos, valeu! O cobrador de churrasco consegui ainda um green histórico na Escócia e na terceira divisão da Irlanda. Falta 2 para 15. Já o Nublense faz 1-0. O Santos vai tomar 5-1. Mano, eu pensei, eu cobrador, eu acho que seu Madruga churrasqueiro é você, né? Só pra confirmar. Tava brincando com ele aí achando que era você. Eu fiz só um simulado, né? Uma cotação aí de 18,20 para o Flamengo vencer, pro Corinthians e pro Santos. Pagando uma cotação de 18,20. Ainda tem que ter bônus, né? Coloquei R$100 para ganhar 1.906 e mais 86 de bônus. Não fiz a aposta, fiz só um simulado. Não confio muito aí no Corinthians atualmente. Flamengo, né? Fora de casa também não é 100%. O Santos, né? Atualmente não tá muito bem também, mas, né? Já pensou? Se acontece, eu ia ficar muito triste, né? Porque eu fiz o simulado aí pra acontecer isso, mas eu acho que é pouco provável, né? Belezinha, vou me despedir de vocês. Amanhã retorno aí 2h30, como eu já disse, com a Copa da Turquia. E às 18, Coreia do Sul e Honduras. Real de Roraima está sendo roubado na final. Tá pegando fogo lá no Roraimão? Roraimão pegando fogo? Eita, nós. Complicou. Mas é isso. Vou me despedir de vocês, pessoal. Amanhã eu retorno. Beleza? Obrigado. Valeu. Vou mandar um tchauzinho, ó. Tchau. Liguei a câmera só pra mandar um tchau aí. Beleza? Falou. Tchauzinho. Boa noite. Boa sorte nas apostas de vocês, hein? Boa sorte e aposta com moderação. Fui. Times Brasil, paixão pelo futebol.